So a friend of mine who I really trust told me about this podcasting workshop called We Are Podcast. I'm a bit of a tight ass and also a skeptic, and I'm really hypersensitive to somebody trying to sell me some BS opinions of stuff that I can usually just Google for myself. Let's just say I have some trust issues. But as I said, the person who told me about this is somebody whose opinion I really respect. So I took the leap and signed up for this course. At the time, I was about 1 year into my podcast, which is a podcast for veterinarian. I'm a qualified veterinarian. And I was at the planning stages of a product, a monetized product that I wanted to launch as an add-on to the podcast. But I was getting stuck on many of the technicalities. So what I was after with this course was tips on software and maybe some ideas on how to have better interviews, stuff like that. Well, I did the 3-day course, We Are Podcast, or conference, or whatever you call it. The thing that is We Are Podcast, a webinar or workshop, doesn't really capture the essence of it, does it? And I absolutely loved it. Mind blown. But then a couple of weeks after came the inevitable upsell. I've been marketed at enough to know the pattern. You know how it goes. It's the high value product sold at a good price, and then comes the join us for our group or this intensive workshop or whatever. And it's usually at that point where I block their phone numbers and their email addresses and I run the other way. But for some reason I didn't this time. I couldn't really explain it at the time, but there was something about these two guys, this Ransley and James, who hosted the program that was a little bit different. Something that made me take the leap of faith and join We Are Members, which is not something I do easily. Like I said before, bit of a tight ass, and I'm not one to just fork out good money for memberships and courses and things like that. And believe me, at the time, I did feel like it was really good money. So let me start by saying that in terms of dollar value, just trust me when I say that you will be drowned in value for money, inundated. More content and input and value than you can consume in years. So let's just get that out the way. If you have a podcast or a digital product or a business of any sort, wham, We Are Members is worth the money. But what about time? It's not an insignificant investment of time. These guys go to a lot of effort to provide the contents and the guidance and the connections with other amazing people, but they can't do the work for you. If you're not ready to show up and do the work, then maybe this isn't for you. But what's great here is that the group provides you with the encouragement that you need to do the work that you need to do at your pace. No judgment, just support. And none of the, oh, well done, that's so great. We're talking about genuine feedback, genuine growth. As for my own journey, like I said, I came to We Are Members, We Are Podcast and We Are Members, wanting to learn more about what's the best mic and how do you build a website and how do you run good Facebook ads. And that stuff is there for sure. If you want that sort of content, you will get it. Anything you want to know, ask a question and James and Ronsley will find the best person to answer your question. But it is so much more. For me, it's been a paradigm shifting journey of figuring out what I can do and what is possible and what I want to do, not just how to do it. It's really actually quite hard to explain what we do. I've got friends who say, what's this thing that you're doing? And I don't even have a name for it. I don't know, is it a mastermind or a group or a course? And is it on podcasting? It's not podcasting. It is podcasting. It's just so much more. You kind of have to experience it for yourself to understand. And as for that thing in the beginning that made me commit to this course, the thing that I couldn't quite put my finger on at the time, I figured it out. It's care. It's genuine care. Ransley and James care deeply that you succeed, whatever success looks like for you. It's care, it's community, and we're not just talking the Facebook group community that you get all over the internet. It's more like family. It was probably about 6 months into, maybe 3 or 6 months into the start of We Are Members, and one of the members came up with the term whamily for the group. So We Are Members, whamily, and that stuck. That's what we are called, and I think that just about sums it up.